Hello, and welcome to this short video podcast on plagiarism. Borders College is committed to helping all students and staff avoid plagiarising the work of others in the course of their studies and work. The college takes all acts of plagiarism seriously, and the aim of this video podcast is to help you avoid plagiarism. So, over the next few minutes, I'd like to cover 4 key points. Define what exactly plagiarism is, detail the college's stance over plagiarism, give you some examples of it, and finally suggest some helpful tips on how to avoid it. To begin with, I'd like to give you a clear definition. According to the Borders College Student Handbook, plagiarism is presenting the work of others as your own. It is a serious act of misconduct, and such behaviour will lead to the student discipline policy being applied. So now we have a clear definition of it, let's look at some specific examples of plagiarism in college work. Example 1. A student writes an essay and copies an idea or chunks of words from a book or a magazine and claims it as their own work. That would be classed as plagiarism. Example 2. If a student writing an essay copies and pastes chunks of words from a web page without putting it into their own words, that would be another case of plagiarism. And one final example would be if a student copies the work of another student and tries to pass it off as their own. So, what happens to a student who is found to have plagiarised the work of others? The penalties are varied and depend on the level of infringement and the intentions of the student. However, it is important that you know that there are penalties for all forms of plagiarism, whether it is accidental or deliberate. Now we have a clear definition of what plagiarism is and understand how it is viewed by the college, I'd like to give you some advice on how to avoid it in your own work. Most of your work, whether it is an essay, report, presentation or project, will almost always be drawn from things written or said by experts. Whether you read it in a book, hear it from your lecturer, or see it on a video, it is entirely acceptable and encouraged that you use the work of experts in your college assignments. However, to avoid plagiarising the work of others, you must acknowledge their contribution. The process of acknowledging the work of others is called referencing. The conventions and methods of referencing vary from course to course, and you should read your course handouts carefully and speak to your lecturers about what they expect from you. For more advice on plagiarism and referencing, you can speak to your lecturer or visit the library. That brings us to the end of our video. Thanks for watching.